Hello, good people. Hello, why are you laughing? It's like it's an action, dude. It's like we don't have the budget for a snapboard, so we've got to clap and like that's the action.
Sponsor Forever Sports.
There we go. Get us a clipboard so we can say action. But everybody, welcome to the first ever Friday Stevie P Show. And this is going to be very chaotic in the first one. But the idea is that this show is going to be fun, fast, fearless. Yeah, that's pretty much it, really. There's not much to it.
It's our opinion.
It's our opinion. It's basically just going to be a very casual sports chat. We're going to start adding... Obviously, it's going to build. It's going to build. At the moment, we've got a very raw concept, but the idea is to build some segments into it, to have a bit of fun on a Friday afternoon, and to prove that we are serious. We've got the lagers going.
Yeah,
I'm going to... Let's see if we can get that nice little... Oh!
Yeah, here we go.
Love it. Things you love to see. BK.
Cheers.
If you didn't know, this is BK. He is joining me. He's also agreed to down half his beer to get the stream going. Over to BK.
But
things you love to see. Things you love to see. And there we go. There we go. Now we're cooking. Now we can cook. It's just important at the end of the day to celebrate Friday by drinking some beer. So BK's got himself going. And basically coming up in the show, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a bit of a recap of the week that was. Looking at the Pro Tiers, looking at FA Cup. Man is wearing his Manchester United shirt very proudly at the moment. We're going to be talking a little bit about the URC to come. We're going to be doing some quick fire predictions for the weekend. We're also going to be doing a very cool segment which is from the Upshot. Which if you guys haven't seen, we'll talk about them a bit later. But it's a very cool Twitter, it's a newsletter and Twitter account, which brings some very funny sports sections. And so we're going to be doing that as well. It's a bit of trivia, I suppose, really sort of telling you some behind the scenes secrets about some of your favorite sports stars. And then we're going to end with a controversial sports opinion that we each have. And that's hopefully going to become a feature. But basically the idea for the show as we move on is we want to start bringing in, first of all, we want to take this on the road. We want to be sitting in a pub next week. As fun as it is sitting in my office where we can change colours and we can actually should we get a bit of a party going? We can actually sit there going, yeah, dude. Just get some tune-ins in here. We can get James Haskell into DJ, but we'll keep it a bit. Let's go to red for a bit. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, we are going to go on the road with the show and try and get to a couple of pubs and stuff like that, which should be quite a lot of fun and some cool locations. We're going to try and get some cool guests in. Try and get some sponsored segments and really sort of make this a whole. It's just going to be. I want chaos basically. I just want chaos to ensue. So, on that note, let's get it off. Right, in terms of the week that we have had, let's see what happened in the last week. First of all, in the URC, the Lions won.
finally.
So I think what we must do, everything that we were like attached to and like emotionally invested in,
Don't do this.
we'll have to drink. We'll create like a drinking game out of this. So the Lions won. So cheers to the Lions. I'll drink to that.
Jeez. I'm finished.
Hey, don't you drink for that, you Bull supporter.
Well, we lost.
We're on the opposite side over here, dude. We are. The Bournemouth curtain has been drawn in between us. So the Lions won. The Sharks lost. It's pretty standard, really, but. Trophies.
Yes.
Trophies. Manchester United winning a trophy. Wow, what was your... We watched it together, actually.
Yeah, we did.
And let's just talk about that Manchester United win. How important was that win to Erik ten Hag and the vibes that we're seeing now in the squad?
Well, I mean, they've proven winners in the squad already. We've got Casemiro, we've got Varane, and these guys coming into the team, everyone says, the League Cup is just another small trophy in England.
I get that.
We've had Liverpool celebrated last season like
Trophy parade.
Exactly.
They brought out the bus.
Exactly. And Ten Hag actually chose not to bring out the parade for this one, which means he's serious about the job. It's huge. And the team needed confidence running into the last bit of the season. Now we've got big fixtures coming up. So it's just a perfect confidence booster for the squad and happiness for the fan base, to be honest.
And then more importantly, after that, it almost looked like we were about to crash out at the FA Cup. 1-0 down in like 68 minutes. Life comes at you very fast. And they go, oh shit, here we go.
And then the offside goal.
And we've just had all the fans grilling us about celebrating too hard. And now when we got out there for Cup, I was like, and there we go. Alejandro Garnacho. The next Lionel Messi.
Star. I don't know if it's a bit rushed to give him the number 7 shirt.
Sheesh!
There's Sancho and Anthony, but that's a star, right?
Just
there in the
just
making.
10-year contract, time down.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Also,
and the hair.
We need to talk about the hair. Beaks, how much would I have to give you to do the hair? Like, give me a number.
His contract.
Yeah, his contract needed the hair.
Yeah.
We'll crowdfund it. We'll put it in the channel. I reckon we could raise enough to get you to go that screaming blonde.
No, but the worst part, it's looking like orange, like
No, I don't know what
in
happened.
the light.
I think he basically just went to like a local pharmacy. He grabbed bleach and kind of just slept in it. And whatever happened.
Yeah.
And now we've got that screaming blonde hair. So it's been a good week for Manchester United. So 2 Man United fans very, very chuffed with life. And Premier League results, we did see Arsenal hammering Everton on Wednesday. Liverpool beating Wolves as well.
But they look shaky though, still shaky.
Liverpool.
Yeah.
That defense is very, very, very poor.
And Van Dijk is still being put in the FIFA best 11.
Van Dijk's on fraud watch, as far as I'm concerned. Oak comes in, has one wild season. For the rest, you don't hear from him. You don't see him. He's not buckling. It's not happening. And if I tell you what, if I'm a Liverpool fan, I'll be sitting there going, maybe we actually need to be a bit worried about what we're seeing from Virgil van Fraud.
I mean, they should be worried about this Sunday. It's going to be a massive game.
Yeah. Manchester United versus Liverpool this weekend. It's at Anfield, eh?
Yeah, it's
At Anfield. We're going to go there and we're going to dust them. You heard it here first. And I'm going to stick with that when we do our quick fire predictions a bit later on. We've got to talk about the Proteas, don't we?
We have to.
Because it is Friday, and between Monday and Friday we had a full test match.
But, it didn't last too long.
And let's be honest, great victory, very dominant, but same problems. Like, it's weird. For such a dominant performance, I didn't sit there going and feel, cool, I feel good about this, I feel happy about this. I kind of went there and went, there's
still problems.
There's still problems. And we didn't actually learn much about the squad because, as usual, it was a case of our bowlers getting our batsmen out of trouble the entire time.
Unfortunately.
But
Aiden Markram once again.
Yeah, South.
Another century in Centurion after that spectacular 100 in the SA20.
Yeah, which we did watch.
Yeah, we did watch
it. And good to see Aiden Markram. I think that's probably the biggest sort of win from that test was Aiden Markram did look back to his best. The issue is we've seen this before though. We've seen Aiden Markram come in West Indies. Good side, there's no doubt about it. Very good side.
Not the strongest team.
Yeah, not top 3 sides in the world.
Yeah.
And so we need to see him doing this in England. We need to see him doing this in Australia, which we won't see because we just don't play any more sodding tests.
Yeah, unfortunately. We saw Roberto was quite frustrated about it.
Nokia as well. Nokia said he won't play 50 tests for his country.
Yeah.
He said it'll take him another 7 years at least to be able to do that.
And with his age gap right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's I think 29.
Yeah.
So he's not even old.
Yeah, he's not that old.
But, he's probably got another 4 or 5 years before that back of his Paxton with the rating he's
and the speeds he was putting up as well.
Yeah, no, I mean 150. That's just it's not fun. So
an average of 140 throughout his overs.
No, that's just a bit childish to be honest. So good old Anders. Yeah, and I think it's a major issue. And Pleti, if I have to hear him one more time tell us that we actually are playing a lot of tests. No, we're not.
No, we're not. We really are.
Like we're playing 12 to England's 21. We're playing 12 to India's 19. We're playing 12 to Australia's I think 20.
Yeah.
Don't come here with they're playing another 8 tests in the same cycle. That's like another 2-3 series.
And it's not like the other nations don't respect us. It's just we're not giving ourselves the time.
No, we just prioritize white ball. We're just trying to find the cash, trying to do this, and just no test cricket. So if I have to listen to Pleti one more time tell us that we actually are playing a lot of tests, we're not playing a lot of tests. When you've got the Proteas players coming out and saying it's very disappointing that we're not playing more tests.
It's quite interesting that they actually came out and said.
They must. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? They're going to sack Roberto?
They can't do that.
No, you must call them out. KG, keep calling them out. Anders, keep calling them out. This is bullshit that we don't get more tests out of this. Speaking of tests, though, guess where I am next week Wednesday?
Oh no, you go.
Wanderers, long room.
Oh no.
I don't sit in the cheap seats. I'm not a pleb.
So you're gonna grab a couple of beers with Polly?
Now Polly's working. I'm not working. Polly was work upstairs. He was commentate. I'm not working. I'm there. I'm rubbing shoulders with the execs. I'm gonna have a chat with Enoch and get myself into the system there.
Joel, you better give us a sponsor.
They can there we go. CSA can come sponsor the channel after we've just berated you for what you guys are doing. Come and give us all your money and I don't know what we'll do with it, but we'll buy some beer and we'll put a little CSA.
Yeah.
Proudly brought to you CSA. This CSA rant was brought to you by CSA. But yeah, so I'm gonna get back to Wanderers, which I'm very excited about. And the long room is a phenomenal place to watch cricket, especially at the Wanderers, right behind the bowlers. So very excited for that. But any changes that you would make, because obviously batting was still a disaster. A pair for Bahuma. This captaincy, we've got to talk about the captaincy curse.
Yeah, unfortunately.
As far as I'm concerned, we should just go and pick some random first-class cricketer as the number 7 batsman that bowls a little bit and just make him the captain.
Well, I mean...
And his role is just to be useless, basically, and take on the curse.
There's enough leaders in the squad to do all the fielding changes and the bowling changes. So...
It's just the title thing. He tosses,
yeah.
and he does whatever we've told him he needs to do, and he can then just be absolutely terrible. And it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because everybody else will just perform. Because let's be honest, Mutasamy added this much. So
it was interesting that
3 and 4 runs and no wickets.
Why did Maharaj not play?
Because we backed Mutasamy as a batsman, and he scored 3 and 4, which is...
I've seen Maharaj bang.
Well, this is the thing, dude. I think Maharaj would have contributed more with the bat, and he's a frontline spinner. So for me, that was a bit of a strange selection. Not sure I agree with Shukri on that one.
So that's probably the first change I'll make.
Correct.
Definitely getting Maharaj.
Maharaj. All the do you add to the, I think you probably do at the Wonders because it has been turning of late. Traditionally, you probably wouldn't have. The big sort of question is Keegan Peterson, rather. KP back in, hasn't played in a while, didn't look particularly solid, but at the end of the day, the last test series he did play for us was against India, where he was man of the series. So also maybe a bit difficult to drop him. However, the elephant in the room, as Sports Dictionary is saying, Ryan Rickelton has to play. This is a non-negotiable for me.
Sorry, Klaasen. Unfortunately.
No, but Klaasen's been back. Like, he will play. He is the keeper. They've said he will play. So Rickelton plays. He's playing as a batsman.
But now we're gonna chat about POC balance and everything within the squad. You know, who do we drop? Because we're not dropping Algar at the top of the order.
No. I mean, he scored 71, so it's a bit harsh to drop anyway.
His dismissals were sketchy.
We need to talk about that. You cannot be caught twice guiding him over cover. It's not even a shot he plays. Guy watches one season of SA20 and all of a sudden we're like busy ramping it into third man twice,
yeah. Oh, he just didn't learn his lesson. That's the problem.
No, I mean it's like being shocked by electrical fence and going back to check the clock. Like, surely you learned the first time, but evidently not.
Yeah.
So yes, very frustrating. You can't drop Tony Dezorzi. First of all, I thought he looked very comfortable. Second of all, he's been one of the form batsmen there.
It's interesting that he came in at number 3 though. I would have liked to see him open. I know it's a bit hard.
Yeah, I think Shukri's decided that Markham. I know it's interesting because what you could have done is you could have gone Tony Dezorzi at the top of the order, KP at 3, which is where his natural position is. Exactly. You could have gone Markham at 4, Bahuma at 5, or the other way around.
Yeah. Naturally, I thought.
Yeah, Shukri has basically told Adam Markham, "You are my opening batsman. I don't care what's happening. You are opening for me."
I do understand the kind of aggressive approach that he wants to take, especially with how Test cricket is going these.
Except, did you see an aggressive approach out there for any of those batsmen? Apart from Algo, he decides now he can play the ramp shot for third man.
Not necessarily.
That was the thing. Yeah. I didn't see a marked difference in the way we approached the game.
Besides Markram's cover drives. Oh,
yeah, but I mean, cover drives just always there. Right? Although it's
class.
It is class. Howard Class has struggled a bit, but he will play. So, I mean, the obvious thing is for me is, do we need Mutasamy?
We don't need.
Maybe we need a spinner for the Wanderers, and that would be the only thing. But
Markham
can Markham do a job? Yeah, I tell you.
Bowl. He's done it before.
So for me, that would be the easy selection: is you put Rickelton in for Mutasamy, or else you just drop KP and play Rickelton at 5.
It's a bit harsh for KP though, because we still want to.
Do you know what the problem is? 12 tests in the next 3 years. There's no tests.
Yeah.
So actually, we might as well just change things.
Yeah.
Because what have we got to lose?
Anyone can get an opportunity.
Yeah. Just here we go forth and play. Because it doesn't actually matter because we've got no test matches coming up.
Jeez, it's sad to be honest.
No, it's don't even get me started. I'm gonna lose my mind. So yeah, my only thing is I reckon we've got to see Ryan Rickelton in for that test at this home ground where he has just produced runs for fun. You've got to see Ryan Rickelton over there.
It makes sense.
It does make sense.
Unfortunately, Maharaj won't probably get any game time, but I think he's played enough.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
It's a leader in there.
It is what it is.
But it is a Wanderers test, so you can afford to sort of drop that batting all-rounder for an extra batsman. So it's not really the worst approach.
Yeah, I said. I mean, the only thing that for me, but if you don't drop him with Sami for Rickton, at least drop him for Maraj.
Yeah.
At least have a frontline spinner who can add a bit with the bat, to be honest.
Yeah.
Or Simon Harmer, I don't really care. Either both of them can hold the bat.
But with the weather in Joburg, I think that Wanderers pitch might be nice and hard. Just obviously how they prep it now.
Yeah, although we did see Western Province lose like 7 wickets for like the last couple of days. Bjorn Fontaine, well, that's actually who should be playing. With,
I saw
100
that.
and a 50, as well as 9 wickets in the match.
Yeah. I saw your tweet. No, I agree with you. You know, the next test series, he definitely deserves a shout.
No, it's pretty childish. But anyway, that is basically what's happened this week, as well as, that's basically everything.
Yeah.
By the way, Formula 1's happening at the moment. We actually kind of got a live stream going on, so you guys will actually redirect you that way after the stream. We did see the first practice session this morning, very interesting practice session. The second practice session coming up a bit later. We've also got the Daily Wrap coming up at 6 o'clock with Stephen Kirker. And you'll see me throughout the weekend with some rugby. But now I'd like you to bring into our first segment that we have. It's called The Upshot. And it's a Twitter account. It's at Upshot Towers. They've got an email. They've got a newsletter that goes out. And the bio is as follows. Drunken antics, dressing room squabbles, and everything else BBC Sport won't touch with a barge pole. The funny stories in sport, your inbox every Friday.
To be fair, that's sort of needed in professional sports because, you know, we've had our varsity experience.
Yeah.
And we have plenty of stories to tell.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a segment we can add later on. But, you know, we've got plenty of stories to tell for our time and stuff. So
that's actually a very good idea. What I've actually loved to do is I'd really like people to start submitting their club sport or varsity sport stories because, I mean, I think about the stuff I've witnessed on a cricket field, on a football field, on a rugby field, and that's just me. So there are thousands of people out there. So we're gonna be throwing out a link out on the channel, and we want you guys to submit your stories, and we're gonna try, maybe we'll bring that in as a segment next week. Is the amateur sports stories that nobody else cares about, but we definitely do. Today we're going to be talking about Paul Gascoigne. Paul Gascoigne. Gaza.
Lunatic.
Absolute lunatic. He is an absolute lunatic. And now this thread absolutely finished me. So basically what this Twitter account does is it writes these very long and indulged threads about some of the most ludicrous sportsmen out there. And
people submit their own stories that they've heard down the line. And
correct. So this is the thread as it stands. English football has seen some certified nutters down the years, but none of them hold a candle to Gaza. The man was an absolute mentalist. From feeding his mates cat shit to letting ostriches loose at training. Welcome to the utterly unhinged world of Paul Gascoigne. Aged 17 in 1985, a fresh-faced Gascoigne helps Newcastle beat Watford to lift the FA Cup. At full-time, Watford chairman Elton John comes into the changing room to congratulate the team. A bollock naked Gaza stands up in the bath chanting, "Elton, give us a song." Could you imagine being Elton John? You walk in there, like you've just been beaten in the FA Youth Cup. You walk into, I mean, this is the FA Youth Cup, by the way. The Youth Cup. And you walk in there and some 70-year-old kid is just dark because they're asking you to sing.
I mean, probably, definitely a memory stamp in his head to live on forever.
Yeah, I reckon you could ask Elton John and he'd be like, yes. I remember.
Yes, he did that.
Yeah. 2 years later, Gaza hones his talents for pranks on his best mate, the Jimmy Five Bailies. One night, Jimmy stumbles home from the pub and Paul hands him a piping hot mince pie. Five Bailies will sit down before cackling Gascoigne reveals he'd fill the pie with cat shit. I would lose it.
Would you strangle him on the spot?
He would catch so many. I'd bottle him. I would, honestly, if I had a beer in my hand, I'd bottle him. Could you imagine trying it and then the oak's like, listen, guess what you just ate?
Yeah, like literally as you like finish there and you're like, oh, this was probably pretty good.
I mean, that is, as I said, there's no ways that friendship lasted longer than that.
No, definitely not.
A year later, as Gaza seals his move to Spurs, Jimmy Five Bailies and the rest of Gaza's mates head to London. They're still mates! How are they still mates?
You must have bought him something.
No, come on. You give me a cat shit pie, we're no longer mates. Like, that is the line.
Well, they're teammates, so, you know, it's not much...
But they're heading to the... I mean, papers. Spurs cough up for a posh hotel and the boys wreak utter havoc. Gaza begins contract talks by saying, "We'd like to thank you for the best 3 days of our lives." So literally, they're like, "We want to sign you." And he's like, pay for a bender for me and the baggers. And you've got my signature. I think it's a great idea. For any sponsor that want to come on board, we need, and I quote, "a posh hotel so that we can wreak utter havoc. And then we'll thank you for the best days of our lives, and then you can give us all the money."
Yeah. We'll take it.
This is one of the most insane stories ever. 1989, Gascoigne somehow convinces the handlers at Broxbourne Zoo to lend him an ostrich. He dresses the bird in a Spurs shirt and brings it to training in a brown sack. After releasing the bemused bird on the training ground, Gazza spends the next 4 hours trying to catch it. Imagine rocking up with the gaffer. Right, boys training, and there's just an ostrich running around training. I mean, I know things aren't as professional as they are now, but that's still pretty weird.
Well, I mean, firstly, what was he thinking? An ostrich?
Who gives this guy an ostrich as well, dude? How do you walk into a zoo
Especially with his history.
How do you walk into a zoo and just say, let's go borrow an ostrich? And they go, yeah.
Yeah, it seems like a good idea.
He then gets called up to the England squad for Italia 90. Broadcasts have the bright idea of having each player mouth his name for the pre-match lineups. Gazza, instead of mouthing his name, well, let's go, instead mouths fucking wanker into the camera, and the BBC have to use it for the whole tournament. Have they never heard of a second take? They're just not.
They're probably under time.
Yeah, they said cool, next, and then some poor intern is busy editing, going, I'm pretty sure he's not saying his name.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be that person, but they're probably too scared to tell their boss about it, so they can't just leave it in.
Yeah. It must have been awkward for the fans in the stadium to see.
Yeah, and they're going, that's a bit thing. Before England's group stage game against Egypt, Gazza decides to pay tribute to the opponent's rich cultural heritage. He strips naked, mummifies himself in toilet roll, and throws himself in the hotel pool. I don't think people would appreciate that these days.
Oh no, these days.
I don't think
he would have not had a professional contract by now.
No, he would have been thrown
at
away.
age 70.
No, after the Altidot incident, they would have said,
yeah, he can't play professional football.
No.
But in a sort of way, you do kind of need these like stories growing up,
Look, you need characters at the end of the day. As a fan perspective, you need characters. As Sports Dictionary says, a guy like Gazza won't survive the scrutiny today's players going through. I mean, I think he'd be fine. I don't think he ever gave a shit. Yeah, I just don't think anybody would touch him. Everybody would be like, exactly. No, we're not getting involved in this.
And it's not like he was small and like couldn't fight. He would proper.
No, you don't mess with that guy. Yeah. In 91, when he was injured in the FA Cup final of Spurs, his old pal, Jimmy Five Bailey's, the man who is still his friend, by the way, delivers a pellet gun to his hospital bed. They spend the next week shooting pellets and lobbing water balloons at the photographers camped outside. I actually rate that, to be fair.
You do need your privacy.
You're in the hospital, you're recovering from injury, and everybody's outside there, like, just thinking, I'm just sitting there pot shotting them. In 1992, before an England game against Norway, Gazza was asked by a Norwegian TV crew if he has a message for England's opponents. The message is, and I quote, "Fuck off, Norway." That is literally, that's it. Like, do you have a message for the England's opponents? Fuck off. Then, later that year, he signs for Lazio. At his first press conference in Rome, he stands up, asks for silence, and farts an ear-splitting volume. He is later fined £39,000 after responding to a reporter's question by burping into TV microphones. What is this look on?
He just, he was probably like any amateur sportsman coming up. I don't really care how I act. I'm gonna be who I am. I'm not gonna put on an act, because these days we use the term media trained. That's most of the professionals these days. But he just skipped all those lessons. He skipped every single one of them, and he was pretty happy to just be who he was. And it's not like anyone really stopped him.
This was the iconic photo. And I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it. I'll show it to the camera and see if it focuses in. During '96, during an open training session with England, he pulled down the shorts of his teammate Paul Ince. I mean, imagine the next day in the papers. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this. And let me see it so I can see if you can see it. And that is your front page. Imagine that's your front page. Imagine being Paul Ince, dude.
Yeah.
You're just there, you're just playing, and next thing you know, your ass is on every single paper across the country. There's so many more stories, and we will put the link in the description.
Give it a read.
Alex Ferguson reckons he could have controlled him. I'm not so not so sure, but one of the most deranged and funny characters out there. He is a living legend.
So good question. Who you taking in a fight, Roy Keane or Paul Gascoigne?
It's a huge.
It's a huge call.
I mean, one has karate. We're being cancer now. We can karate kick folks.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But Roy Keane, probably Roy Keane. But Gaz, I don't think would fight fair.
No. I don't think either of them would
No,
fight.
they would. It would be a good fight though. If we had to do a celebrity boxing match, I reckon that would be two very good lineups.
It wouldn't last long because someone would get disqualified for probably either punching someone below the belt or biting someone.
Yeah, or like stabbing them. Someone walking with a knife and just.
You would probably just be like on the side of the ring. Hey.
No, terrible. Right, so that is the upshot segment. We will have that every single week because there are some incredible stories, and more to the point, we want you guys to send in your stories as well, so we can get some amateur stories out of the people. Right, with a few minutes left to go, the only thing left is the weekend preview. Now, this weekend we have got Formula One, we have got Premier League, we've got the URC, and we've got a bit of cricket, but it's not sort of South African sort of based stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to do quick fire predictions. Quick fire predictions. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put BK on the spot. I'm going to read out every single Premier League fixture, and he's just going to give me a scoreline. Like,
okay.
No,
I can
no thinking, no double time. I just want scoreline and who's winning.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. City Newcastle.
2-0 City.
Chelsea Leeds.
1-1.
Arsenal Bournemouth.
3-0 Arsenal.
Aston Villa Crystal Palace.
No.
Brighton West Ham.
Ooh. 1-0 Brighton.
Big call.
With Matoma scoring.
There we go. I love it. I love a bit of extra to it. Wolves Tottenham.
Give it to Wolves. Hopefully, Diego Costa can somewhat get off the bench and get a goal.
Right. Okay. Saints Leicester.
Ooh. Give it to Leicester. They need
Leicester.
it.
Scoreline.
1-0.
1-0. Forest Everton.
3-0 Forest.
You're huge. You get Sean Dyche side. The big one. Liverpool United.
3-1 United.
Come on. Come on, United. I'll drink to that.
And a brace.
What?
Anthony
Brace.
Watch that. Might be crazy, but watch the space.
No, I don't think it's that crazy, to be fair. Brentford Fulham, last one.
No.
0-0. Right, there we go. That was a quick fire prediction for BK. We will revisit it next week, I think.
Yeah.
We have to go watch this back, we'll write it down, and we'll see what your percentage was. And I think maybe we'll keep like a running scoreboard of how you've done throughout the season.
My FPL has been going well, so I'm hoping my predictions follow suit.
Right. And then we're going to do the same thing for the URC. And I won't give exact scores. I'll just give by how many.
Yeah, that's
so yeah, and we'll actually throw these onto the daily wrap later, so people can jump in there.
Gonna be tough this week.
Yeah, dude, just throw it out to me. Let's see what we've got.
Okay, Glasgow Warriors versus Zebra.
Glasgow by 20.
Okay, Munster versus Scarlet.
Munster by 15. Yeah, Munster by 15. RKS Neyman comes back tonight and does the business.
Jeez. Okay, let's get some local derbies on Saturday. Stormers, Sharks.
Stormers by 15.
Big
I think that Sharks defense is disgustingly bad at the moment. Stormers going to rinse them. That's my prediction.
Our teams are going up against each other.
Hit them.
Bulls, Lions.
Lions by 5. Next.
Oh, God. Edinburgh versus Leinster.
Leinster by 10. Probably a lot more than that.
Yeah.
Leinster by 10. I'm going to be... Actually, no. Stuff it. Leinster by 14.
No, you can get a little bit more. Let's go Osprey versus Benetton.
Benetton by 5.
Ooh, are you sure?
Missing a lot of their internationals, but I still think they get the business done against Ospreys.
Okay. The Dragons versus
Connacht.
Yeah.
Connacht by 7. Yeah, I've just got a weird feeling that Connacht might choke because they need to win their game to get themselves back in top 8 contention. Pressure could do a thing. He's going to be very wrong, by the way.
And what I think could be one of the biggest games of the weekend, but you might think otherwise, Cardiff versus Ulster.
Ulster by 10.
Really?
After what I saw last week. I think Cardiff have to win that game. But I think Cardiff without Liam Williams, Cardiff without Faletau.
Bit light, eh?
Nah, they're not doing it.
Okay. Well, that's Steve's prediction for you. I'll see.
They're all going to be wrong. Rule number 1, never ever back my predictions and never take my betting advice. The only time you should have taken my betting advice was last year when we did a Forever Sports matchup. We said back all 4 SA sides to win, and you will double up your bet. And I put $50 on that. I think it was like 10-1, and it hit.
Surely some luck will run your way this
No, every now and again, but there's so many losses in there that next week we're going to get our betting expert on. You can give you genuine advice. But I'm just going to throw out some weird random numbers. But Lions by 5. That one I will maintain.
Are you sure about that?
Come on!
I won't lie. I'm a bit worried.
Come
I
on!
saw the Bulls lined up.
Frank Horn scoring.
I don't like want to see them 50.
Ah, it's fine. He's going to get smacked. Welcome back. Remember last time we played against the Caesar totally buried him and even put him on his Instagram.
He didn't have the greatest game there.
He mustn't. He'll buckle again this weekend. He can be good from next week, but against the Lions, no, such.
I'm backing the Mornay Stain Foundation inspiration coming through.
Yeah, listen, I'm giving Morning State Foundation a welcome. Bang! He's losing, and then he can win next week. Right, BK, that brings us to the end of the first time of the Friday Stevie P Show. Hopefully, we'll see you again soon. I believe you're in Cape Town next week.
Yeah, we can either do a Zoom or...
Or should I just fly down and we'll do one in Camps Bay?
Oh, jeez, that one.
Somebody sponsor us. Give me some flights. We'll do it out of Cape Town. It'll be a lot of fun. But we might have a new guest next week. Let's see what happens. But hope you guys enjoyed it. Obviously, first show, a bit of teething issues. Basically, this is going to be a very relaxed, unorthodox show that we're going to be bringing in. We're going to be trying, as I say, getting around thing. We actually might even start moving away from sort of sports news and might do things like
just general stuff.
Yeah, we could, and also like we could do challenges. I want to see us spin wheels. I want to see us doing chipping challenges.
We could get a lot of golf, bit of action going.
Yeah, I want to get that cricket board game where you can start one of those things and see if we can bowl some overs there. So if you have any suggestions, please put them in the comments because this is going to be your show basically. Yeah. This is going to be a whole what you guys want to see. We're going to try and do, and this is going to be a lot of fun every Friday afternoon to really kick off the weekend. It's 4:00. Get off work, go find a beer. If you don't drink, that's fine. Go find yourself a cool drink. Let's get it rolled into the weekend. This was going to redirect you to the Formula One. I'll be with you guys tomorrow for 2 URC watch-alongs, and we'll be doing all the Formula One live throughout the weekend as well. See you next week for the Stevie P Show on a Friday, and see you tomorrow for some URC action. And if you're still looking for some more content, as I said, free practice 2 for the Formula One starting in a couple of hours, and the daily wrap on Friday Sports with Stephen Kirker at 6 o'clock. Peace.
Steve, I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Can't believe you made me down half of my head.
Next time it's a full beer. You've had your chance now to practice. Next time it's a full beer.
Oh, little wager on Bulls Lions.
Bulls Lions. First person has to down the beer on the stream next week.
Yep.
You heard it here first. Cheers, everybody.